more about Surf Neutral. It was co-founded by Leslie Zonnecain, he joins me now, of Jeffreys Bay, by a group of surfers who wanted shapers, surfers, and brands to connect globally. So tell me a little bit about how you developed your database.
Well, it's a story that we arrived. I'm originally from Belgium, so I arrived in J-Bay and I was thinking, hey, you need to find a lot of local shapers. There's going to be a load of local shapers there, but in fact it was hard to find them because some of them are crafting in a shed or here or there, you know. So I'm saying, what's going on? So after a couple of weeks losing time, I met some of the shapers and I said, yeah, you don't have a website, you know. So I started building a website for one of them and then for the next. And then I said, it's not scalable, you know, so we need to build something differently. So with my IT background from Belgium and my experience, we basically build a blueprint for shapers so they can build their own website and digitize their boards with their own QR codes. So the QR codes are downloadable and they can laminate each QR code, which is unique, into each board, making the board really unique. They can transfer the board to their surfers and as such keep history of who's riding their boards and where their boards are being ridden. So the location can be updated and such and such. If they have stock boards, they can even rent them out as a try and buy. So if you're a traveling surfer, you can straight from the bat connect with the local shaper, try some of his boards and basically support the local shapers instead of supporting the airlines that are digging your board anyway. Because I paid like $500 to get my boards from South Africa to here, and they all got dinged. So that's one of the reasons I'm like.
That's incredible. So you saw a need, and you fulfilled that need in the industry.
Yes, and we want to obviously make it easy for shapers to be visible in one local place, you know, because if you need to browse the internet for and look for shapers, it's a hard job, you know, even on Instagram, as most of the shapers are on Instagram, you never know where they are. You see loads of freaking nice boards, but the location of where they are it's hard, you know, then you need to browse further. So we said, listen, let's build this platform where you can share your stuff on Instagram through Surf Neutral and as such be visible to all surfers globally.
Yeah, it's a lot of information gathering and you're making that one-stop shop for everybody. How is the industry responding?
Oh, it's been great so far. For much people, they really dig it. A lot of surfers, they're like, wow, this is what we had and I lost time in Peru and I should have had that and stuff like that. So, but obviously as we started with the core of the industry, which are the surfboard builders, right? It's them that need to put on board and post a board, because it's only when they post a board that they're visible on the platform to surfers.
And it seems like a great way to bring the global community together. But I gotta know, is this a profit-driven enterprise?
Well, we did it out of a passion the first few years, and my first visit to shapers were like, but how are you gonna make money? So I'm like, yeah, exactly. We have this plan, but we want to make the boards unique, and we want to like every shaper puts his soul into his board, so we want to preserve that soul into each board. And now I said, listen, if we travel, then we want to rent a board, right? So now we're taking a little bit of a profit of the day price of the rentals of the shapers, and we mark up the same with the rental price on the surfer side. So both have a totally different experience on Surf Neutral. The shaper has this private place where he can basically also download his order forms, send his order forms to his customers for asking for a deposit and stuff like that. And then when the board is posted, then surfers can see it. If it's rented out, then they can rent it straight from the bat. So we're also a Belgium company. So we have all the legislation in Belgium and need to follow the European GDPR stuff and all the stuff like that. So that made us possible to team up with Winkelcard, which is basically an insurance company for surfboard rentals. So every board that gets rented out, if a shaper chooses to do so, he can add this obligated insurance onto his own boards, making his boards insured up to $800 for dings and stuff like that. So that's all integrated into the platform due to COVID, as last year obviously had the time to do that. So that's an additional feature we've done over the past year, actually.
Amazing. It's peer-to-peer surfboard sharing.
It's peer-to-peer surfboard sharing with that little touch that they can put the soul into their boards, the story into the boards, and track the boards and look where their boards are being served. So you can have a surfer history. Imagine if you're a shaper and you have your team riders going, right? Then you can put the name of that team rider into the board. If he sells the board again, it's basically a ledger for each surfboard, right? And you know what we can do with ledgers with a lot of things going on in this world.
Because the boards have just as cool of stories as the surfers. So it's great to have that history go along with the board.
Exactly. That's what we're achieving with Surf Neutral, actually.
What a really cool company. Thank you so much for telling us more about it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
It's a pleasure.
Enjoy the show.
Thank you.